I can't think of anything that gets people more stressed out about cheese than the idea of pairing. People are really fixated on getting the right pairing and not messing it up. I'll start by saying that a good pairing is a pairing that you like, and it might be different from the pairings I'm gonna tell you I think work, and that is just fine. So trust your gut, trust your palate. If you have a flavor preference you like, go for it. That being said, I think it's really helpful to have some general guidelines in mind when you're approaching cheese pairing. So there are three main things I think about when I'm trying to put together a pairing. The first is balance. I try to think about what flavors or qualities a cheese has and what other food or beverage might balance those out. The biggest thing about balance is that I don't want to overwhelm the flavor of the cheese. I want to taste the cheese, but I want it to be complemented. I don't want to mow it down. That's number one. Number two is, and I don't hear people talk about this enough, I think a lot about texture. If I have a cheese that's gooey and creamy, I don't want to add something that's gooey and creamy and really sticky to the mix. There's just not enough contrast there. Texture can play a really important role in balancing out a soft textured cheese or a hard textured cheese. And finally, the last thing to think about is sugar, acid, heat. Cheese is all fat and protein. It's really intense and dense and lingering in your mouth. So I think about cutting that with sweet stuff, with acidic stuff like pickles and vinegary things, or with spicy stuff. So you're gonna see me play a lot with those three things to get a great pairing. The best way to figure this out is to just get into it. So let's start tasting. I am here today with my really good friend, Nathan Aldridge. We have worked together for more than 15 years. Together back in the day, we traveled the country opening Murray's cheese shops in Kroger supermarkets and drinking a lot of bourbon at bars across America. I trust this man's palate, and so I asked him to come over today and bring a whole bunch of stuff that he sells with cheese so that once and for all, we could do a massive tasting and put together some go-to strategies for getting the perfect pairing with your cheese. So, you brought a lot of stuff to me.
Yes I did.
I see a lot of white rindless cheese, so I'm gonna say lots of fresh cheeses, but tell me what are we starting with?
All right, so started out with this kind of pairing idea with the mildest cheeses possible. All of these cheeses are going to be a little bit more lactic or kind of milky flavor. They're not going to be very salty. And as you can kind of tell, they all have a really high moisture content. But I think they're going to pair well with a lot of different things.
Yeah, I think of fresh cheeses like cream and like coffee. Milky and rich, and they can cut lots of other flavors. So I'm thinking of some more traditional cooking application models. And I have a feeling you're gonna go off the rails.
Yeah, you know, I'm being a little unusual myself. I'm gonna experiment a little bit.
I'm gonna get my stuff. You got stuff?
I got stuff, I'm gonna grab mine.
Okay, I'm gonna tackle these guys first. So this is ricotta and mascarpone. And sometimes you see ricotta used in like lasagna and stuff, but these are really, really sweet. So I'm gonna actually approach these like a desserty thing.
Okay.
On Easter, I serve ricotta with honey as a dessert. So I'm thinking a schmear on, this is not a cracker, this is actually an oat cake. So it's like a biscuit, a little bit sweet and really crunchy. So I'm thinking a schmear with like a drizzle of honey.
I'm going vastly different here. So this is something I haven't really tried out yet, but I like living a little bit on the edge. So with these burrata, I'm gonna pair with it a spicy, smoky, pickled okra. So I'm Southern, I gotta help represent. The burrata will also kind of help bring the intensity down a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna just get in there.
Go for it.
Oh, that totally works.
Right?
Yeah, the burrata just takes all the heat and the edge out. It's got smoke, it's got spice, and it's got acid.
Yeah.
So I can't think of a lot of cheeses that would do well with something that intense. Meanwhile, like in the other direction, I did one with ricotta and one with mascarpone. This is like dessert. So here's where pairing is a little weird because I want to try the honey with the mozzarella. Also like a milder, sweeter, fresher cheese.
That seems a little odd.
Yeah, and it's kind of gross. Like it doesn't really work.
Well, this one I think is going to work. This is kind of like string cheese. And what I'm going to put with it is a little bit of chorizo. It's almost kind of like a mozzarella with a little bit of salami, but this has got a nice little spice to it.
That makes a lot of sense because these meats are too spicy to pair with a lot of cheeses. They really overwhelm them. There's not balance. So using these milder, milkier cheeses with spicy meats makes a lot of sense.
Works perfectly.
It's good. It's like pepperoni pizza without the crust.
Yeah, I'm gonna have another bite.
Typically you would do caprese salad with mozzarella, tomato, and basil, but I'm gonna go with something savory with those like vegetal flavors that I think of caprese salad as having, and I'm gonna try an olive. This is a green Cerignola, mild, sweet.
Well, I'm gonna try that.
Don't eat the pitch. That to me is like drizzling olive oil on your fresh mozzarella. Reminds me a lot of caprese without actually having the tomato or the basil.
I think it's wonderful. You know, it's amazing like what you can accomplish if you just simply try two things together.
I'm actually pleasantly surprised because these were 4 totally different approaches and they all worked, except for my mozzarella with honey, which did not work.
Yeah, I didn't try that one.
So my biggest takeaway with fresh cheeses is that they're really versatile. They're really good for standing up to bigger, stronger, spicier, smokier flavors that you might not put with other cheeses. But there are a few of them that really are more in the desserty direction.
Absolutely. Some
Mascarpone and ricotta do really well with sweet.
I never would have tried the pickled okra with a burrata before, but that's just stepping outside my comfort zone and being able to try it. And it worked out really well. I love that.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Well, I'm gonna eat more fresh cheese, not just melted on a tortilla.